guys, this is Dan Seifer from MobileBurn.com. What we're looking at right now is a Samsung Replenish for Sprint. This is an Android handset that is part of Sprint's Green Eco series, and we're just going to take a quick tour of it and go over what we got and the software that comes with it. So taking a look at the packaging, we have here is an eco-focused packaging. It's got soy inks on it, and it's fully recyclable, and it's made from primarily recycled materials. So that's the deal with the packaging there. Opening up, we've got the phone itself. Let's get this guy powered on. There we go. Well, that starts up. Take a look at what else we got with it. Underneath here, you've got an instruction manual from Sprint, a couple different languages, and looks like they give you a pouch so you can send back an old phone to get recycled, keeping with the green theme. Micro SD card adapter, USB, micro USB cable, and the charging unit, and that's it. That's all that comes within the box. Samsung does make a solar panel charger for this phone, but they didn't send us one to test, so that's going to be a separate accessory that can be purchased at the time of purchase of the Replenish. Taking a look at the phone itself, what you can see here is you've got a 2.8-inch screen above a Portrait QWERTY keyboard. Now the screen here is actually a QVGA resolution, which is considerably less than what we're normally seeing nowadays on the market. It is, even though it's got a small size, it is quite grainy and noticeably pixelated, especially when you look close at it. I don't know if the camera will allow you to see it well there, but it is definitely grainy and pixelated in person. But the keyboard itself is a full QWERTY job down here. It feels nice. It's got good plastic keys on it, nice feedback and travel. Not as nice as a full QWERTY keyboard on a BlackBerry, of course, but it's nice to see that it's there. Got hard buttons for menu, home, back, and search. Up top is your earpiece, and over here are the light sensors, and it actually has a notification light as well, which we don't see too often on Samsung handsets. The side of the phone here, we've got a camera key, and then we've got a voice dial activation key, so you can press that button to activate the voice dialing service. On top, you've got your power lock sleep key, and then a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the other side, your volume up and down rocker, not much else. And then on the bottom, you've got your microphone port and your micro USB charging port. The back of the phone, you can see, is a plastic cover on the back. It's got a kind of a textured feel to it, so it's not fully glossy, but as you can see, it's definitely showing some fingerprints of mine. 2-megapixel camera on the back there, no autofocus with that, and standard video quality, no HD. And you got a speaker over there. Opening the back cover, get it open here. There we go. There's the battery, which is a 1600 milliamp hour unit, and for here we've got the slot for the micro SD card, and pre-installed is a 2GB micro SD card, and the Replenish supports up to 32 gigabytes of storage. Looking at the software itself, it is a pretty standard build of Android 2.2. There's not too many customizations done here by Sprint and Samsung, but there are a couple, and we'll go through those. For starters, you've got your 5 home screens here that you can page through and navigate as by normal. If you hold down on the button on the dots there, you can quickly jump from one home screen to another. As you can see, standard Android 2.2 features there. You've got shortcuts to email, contacts, messaging, and the market. Down at the bottom, you've got your phone key, your menu, application menu, and then the Sprint ID menu, which is Sprint's way of easily and quickly customizing the phone itself with applications and menus. Your application trays, your standard application tray here, vertical up and down scrolling. Taking a look at what Samsung and Sprint have preloaded on it, there's not too much as far as extra applications. These are all pretty standard Android ones. You do have a file browser, which is kind of cool, so you can browse a file tree. Sprint Hotspot is to turn the phone into a mobile hotspot device. You got your Sprint ID pack there. Sprint Zone, which is a Sprint information portal. The Rescue app here is part of the Green. Excuse me, it's actually a LogMeIn Rescue. It's for remote technical support. It's kind of interesting to see. Then you've got ThinkFree Office for Office document viewing and editing. And then the rest are your standard Android applications. So there's not too much bloatware on this, which is good to see. This is powered by a 600 megahertz processor. So it's not the fastest on the market, but it seems to be pretty snappy in our use so far. It has 512 megabytes of RAM, which help aid the quickness in the operations. The browser appears to be a standard Samsung browser, or excuse me, standard Android browser. You can browse to different windows. It's nice to see some shortcut keys on the keyboard here itself. The function key allows you to instantly drop in a full .com. You've got an emoticon key, an @ symbol key, voice dialing key as well. So it's nice to see thoughtful touches there as far as the function keys go. Now that we've got our web page loaded up, we can take a better look at the browser itself. Scrolling is fairly smooth. It's not too bad. You can double tap to zoom in, and it will reflow the text for you. You can also pinch to zoom here, which works fairly well. It's not as smooth as some faster high-end phones. Flash support is present. As you can see, you've got some flash ads and flash content there, so you can sometimes see flashings. I imagine that using heavy flash will slow the browser down significantly. And there's your tabs. You can bounce quickly and easily between various open pages. The calendar is slightly modified from your standard Android calendars. You can see it's got a skin there that Samsung has put on that we've seen on other Samsung phones before. Kind of got this blue theme to it. Doesn't really match the rest of the green theme, but it's there. The email app is also slightly skinned. We've got two email accounts here. We can take a look at both of them at the same time by going to the combined inbox, and we can look at different email messages. And if you look at the actual specific inbox, you can see tabs at the top that allow you to switch to different folders quickly and easily. The messaging application is the exact same messaging application that we see on Android before. There's nothing really different about it here. When Sprint and Samsung announced this phone, they also announced the release of a new Green ID pack. So we've loaded that up here on the Replenish and give you an idea of what that looks like. You've got a totally customized home screen now that is entirely changed from what we were looking at earlier. It's got a different wallpaper, tons of different application shortcuts and widgets for various eco-focus programs and stuff. You've got things you can take action. You've got shortcuts to websites, tips on how to live green, tons of different application shortcuts here that have been installed. Recycling, a ticker to show you how to save money by shopping green. Really customize the device quite a bit. As you can see, now that we scroll through the application tray, there's a lot more applications installed, like iRecycle, green applications, light bulb finder. Down here we've got tree hugger. So it took about 10 minutes or so to install the Green ID pack, and it customized the phone from top to bottom with more of a green focus that the Replenish is really designed against. Seeing as the packaging and the body of the phone itself are made with recyclable materials, the phone itself is 82% recyclable. So Sprint is really focusing on the green aspect with the Replenish. Taking a look at the camera, it's a 2 megapixel camera, as we mentioned earlier. No autofocus with this, so there's no way to focus the lens. It will just snap a picture immediately after you hit the button. Response is pretty fast though. You can snap away pictures with the hardware button pretty quickly. Video is your standard video resolution. You've got two modes though. You've got high and then you've got low mode for sending video messages. You've got your on-screen controls here. You can also use the camera shutter key to start recording video. And you can see recording here. It's a little bit jelly-like. The video does not respond well to movement much. Then once we've recorded our video, we can preview it here, right on screen. Start recording video. And you see recording here. It's a little bit jelly-like. The video does not respond well to movement much. Audio seems to be pretty good and loud from the rear speaker. Also can see our photos that we took. Supports pinch to zoom. Pretty fast to transition between photos, and as they come in they sharpen up. Seems to be very similar performance of the camera that we saw from the Samsung Prevail for Boost Mobile. So that's pretty much it. That's the Samsung Replenish coming out for Sprint on the 8th of May for $49.99. It's a full Android phone. It's got a full touchscreen, and we like the keyboard on it, even though it is a bit plasticky. It definitely does not have the higher quality feel that you see with other Android phones, but it's lightweight, and the cost certainly justifies the plasticky build of it. We would really have liked to seen a higher resolution screen. QVGA is not something we've seen for a long time, so it's kind of a throwback to the past on that. But otherwise, it's probably a solid phone. The 600 megahertz processor doesn't seem to be holding it back too much. We think that a lot of people will probably appreciate the form factor with the hardware keyboard on it. For now, this is Dan Seifert from MobileBurn.com. Thanks, guys.